Okay, here's our problem set. This will be the directions and then follow along with what it needs to be done. So solve the following expressions using the standard algorithm, the partial products method, and the area model. So I have three things to do with each one. Okay, standard algorithm, partial products, and the area model. Okay, so we'll start off number one, standard algorithm. So let me zoom in here real quick. 425 times 4. So I know how that looks. 425 times 4. Okay, and I'm going to write that nice and neat, just like that, okay? So 4 times 5 is 20. Put down the 0, carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 4 times 4 is 16, plus that 1 is 17. So it comes out to be 1,700, or 1,700, okay? So there's step one. Now step two talks to me partial products method, okay? So here's the partial products method. Partial products method, I'm gonna write out the problem the same exact way as I did over here, okay? 425 times 4, okay? This time I'm not gonna do any carrying. All I'm going to do is multiply each product, each place value, and show you what that's worth, okay? So follow along here. So 4 times 5 is 20. So I'm just going to write down 20, just like that. All right? Then 4 times 20, that's 80, right? 20, 40, 60, 80. So that's 80. So write down 80 underneath that. Kind of weird, I know. And then 4 times 400, because that 4 is in the 400s place, is in the hundreds place. So 4 times 400 is 1,600, or 1,600. And then I add them all up. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 8 plus 0 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 plus nothing is 1. So 1,700, 1,700, okay? Now, to further explain what we did, here's the area model. And here's 425 broken into expanded form. So that's kind of what we did here. We just multiplied each one of the place values, just like we do in expanded form, we expand the number out, right? So first we did, well, first over here we did 4 times 5 is 20. So that's what we ended up here, 4 times 5. And then we did 4 times 20. There's the 20. And then we did 4 times 400. There's the 400, okay? So you see how that kind of correlates back and forth? Now finally, here's the area model. This 4 stands for the rows, basically, here, okay? And then each one of these little rectangles stands for these individual numbers. There's 400, here's 20, and there's 5. See that? 425. So when I multiplied 4 times 5, the area of this came out to be 20. When I multiplied 4 times 20, the area of this came out to be 80. And then 4 times 400, the area came out to be 1,600. Okay? It's pretty neat, all right? All of this over here, I know you know how to do this, but all of this over here is just to expand our knowledge, all right? And I want you to really just to think about it, give maximum effort and think about it. And it's pretty cool to solve this kind of a puzzle, all right? Let's try the next one. All right, I see here I've got 534 times 7. Well, let's do these things in order. First, I have to solve the algorithm, standard algorithm. So 534 times 7. Okay? So I'm going to do that. 7 times 4 is 28. Put down the 8, carry the 2. 7 times 3, that's 21, plus 2 makes 23. Down to 3, carry the 2. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 2 is 37. So I end up with 3,738. Okay, so I did that. Standard algorithm is my first step, just like we talked about here. Now my second is partial products. So if you remember, I'm going to write this out the exact same way. 534 times 7. Now, with partial products, I don't do this whole carrying thing. I just write the products out as we see fit, okay? And you have to remember, this is the ones column, this is the tens column, and this is the hundreds column, okay? So let's give it a shot. 7 times 4 is 28. Already figured that out. So I'm just going to write down 28 here. And that 28 just represents 7 times 4. And then 7 times 30 was 21. Well, it's really 210. So I write down 210. Just like that. Okay? And then 7 times 500. Okay? 7 times 5 is 35. Put 2 zeros at the end is 3,500. Okay? It's just like that. And then I add them up. See, we should end up with the same exact answer down here, okay? 8 plus 0 is 8. Good. 2 plus 1 plus 0 is 3. Good. 2 plus 5 is 7. Good. And 3 plus nothing is 3. 3,738. Okay, now let's come take a look at the last thing we need to do is the area model. Here's the area model, all right? So if you remember down here, I have to write out 534 in expanded form. So I'm going to write it out in expanded form. So 534, okay? And that's what the area model represents. This represents 500. This represents 30. This represents 4, okay? And if you remember, you multiply all of these by 7. So that's what this 7 stands for right here. It's the 7 rows. So now I want to find out this area. Well, let's find out 7 times 4. What that area is would be 28, right? Does that make sense? So down here it's 7 times 4. That's 28. Then 7 times 30. That's what this would be. Okay, that was 210 if you remember. And then 7 times 500. Okay, and that was 3,500. Okay, all 3 steps taken care of. All right, now teachers, if you feel like you can pause this and then have the kids try the next one on their own, be my guest. If you want to keep rolling, that's okay too. And if you're working from home, you feel the same, do the same thing. If you need to pause the video and you like to try it a little bit on your own and give it a shot, that's great. Give it a shot, all right? If you get confused, play the video. See how you did, okay? You could even start playing the video and then pause a little bit on your way through. Or do what you know and then play what you're not so sure about and follow along with me. So this is 209 times 10, okay? So 209, I'm gonna do the standard algorithm first. 209 times 8. Did I say times 10? Whatever. It's times 8. So let's do the regular old way, standard algorithm. 8 times 9 is 72. Put down the 2, carry the 7. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 7, 7. And then 8 times 2 is 16. 1,672, okay? Standard algorithm is out of the way. Now we're going to do the partial products. So it's 209 times 8. Same exact way set it up. But now this time I'm not going to be carrying anything. I'm just going to do the math. Okay? 8 times 9 was 72. So I write down my 72. Then 8 times 0 is 0. So I'm not going to write anything down. It's just 0. Or I could write a bunch of zeros in here, but that would just be like writing nothing, right? And then 8 times 200. Well, that's 1,600. Okay, make sure you keep everything in your place values. Add these up. 2, 7, 6, 1. Here we go. This would be 8, and then I have to write 209 in expanded form. So 209. Now there's no space for a tens here because there are no tens. It's just 0, right? So I don't have to write anything for tens. So 209 written in expanded form is 200 plus 9. Down here, I will actually, down here I'll write 8 times 9 because I have to multiply that. And then 8 times 200, multiply that. And here's our area model. So this 8 is the rows here, okay? And this here would be 200, and this here would be 9. So 8 times 9, we just said that was 72. 8 8 times 200 was 1,600. That goes right there like that, okay? All right, we're doing great. Okay, so on the back, in the next pieces here, we've got a bunch of different problems, okay? And I'm not gonna do them all. The video would be way too long here, okay? It would take on forever. So what I'm gonna do is do a few of them, okay? And kind of help you out. And see, you know, we'll just kind of do what it says, okay? But the most part, I really want you to answer these questions just to answer the questions, okay? To make sure that we're doing the right things, okay? So let's look at 3. It says solve using the partial products method, okay? So I'm gonna do that, but you know, you could solve this any way that you feel comfortable, okay? You could solve it just using the standard algorithm, all right? So Kayla's school has 258 students, period, stop. It's a small school. Janet's school has 3 times as many students as Kayla's. Okay, yeah, I can see that. So our school probably has 3 times as many as Kayla's as well. How many students are in Janet's school? All right, so we have to take Kayla's and multiply it by 3, right? So we're gonna solve this using the partial products method. So I have 258 in Kayla's school, and I'm gonna multiply that, and then Janet has 3 times that amount. So we know that 3 times that is just you multiply it by 3. And it says solve using the partial products method. I'm gonna do the partial products method. You, however, can just do this standard algorithm. So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 50 is 150. And 3 times 200 is 600. And when I add those up, 4, 7, 7. Okay, so I got 744. So it looks like Janet's school has 774 students. Period. Okay. All right, so if you did this, the standard algorithm, I hope you ended up with the same number, all right? Okay, down here, I've got model with the tape diagram and solve. Excellent. 4 times as much as 467. I can do that. So, 4 times as much as 467. So here, right, is 467. I need to know how 4 times that is. So there's 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. I gotta find out what this is. 4 times the amount of 467. So 467. I'm gonna choose to use the standard algorithm for this one. Multiply that by 4. So 4 times 7 is 28. Put down the 8, carry the 2. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 is 26. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. I got 1,868. And notice I don't have to write out a complete sentence because there's no word problem here. I could just say it that way, okay? So solve using the standard algorithm down here, okay? The area model, the distributive property, or the partial products method. Okay, I can do that. So I see this or, I can choose any way I want to do that. The distributive property was when you break it down into it's just like the partial products, okay? So 5,131 times 7. Okay, I'm just going to use my standard algorithm. 7 times 1, 7. 7 times 3 is 21, so I put down the 1, carry the 2. Okay, sometimes we get confused about which number to put down and which one to carry. So when I read 21 from left to right, the 2 comes first, so that goes up. All right, the 1 stays down. The number all the way to the right stays down. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. 7 times 5 is 35. So I end up with 35,917 here, okay? And that's my answer. Okay. it looks like I'm going to be doing all of these because we're moving through them pretty quick. So that's great. If you can pause this, you want to do some on your own if you're at home and go from there, it's up to you. 3 times as many as 2,805. So 2,805. Okay, 3 times that amount. I'm going to multiply that by 3, okay? Now you can choose any way you want to do this. I can break this apart, I can do partial products, I can do area model, or standard algorithm. 3 times 5 is 15. Put down the 5, carry the 1. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 3 times 8 is 24. Down the 4, carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 8,415. And then finally, here's a word problem. It says, a restaurant sells 1,725 pounds of spaghetti and 925 pounds of linguine every month. That is a lot of pasta. All right? It reminds me of that book by Tommy DiPaola. What is it called? The Magic Pasta Pot? Stregonona. The Magic Pasta Pot. When he wishes all that, the pot to make all that spaghetti and the whole town fills up. I don't know if you ever read it. It's a good book. So, it's a long book though. All right, so a restaurant sells 1,725 pounds of spaghetti and 925 pounds of linguine every month. Jeez, a lot of spaghetti. After 9 months, how many pounds of pasta does the restaurant sell? Oh, this has an aura of a 2-step problem. Okay, 2 steps here. So we got to figure out the total amount of pasta. So it doesn't matter spaghetti or linguine. I got to put those together, and then I have to find out how much they sell in 9 months. I got this. So my step 1, if I know that I have 2 steps, I always put down the word step 1, underline it, and I write down my first step. My first step is to add these up. Okay, I know that for spaghetti, there's 1,725 pounds. LBS is the abbreviation for pounds. And that is for spaghetti. I'm just going to write down spag here, okay? And then 925 pounds of linguine. And now it's not, the rectangle is not going to be as long because 925 is less. So I'm going to write down 925 pounds here of linguine. Just write down ling. And that tape diagram shows me I need to add those together. So I'm going to say 1,725 pounds, 925, add them up. 5 plus 5 is 10, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5. 7 plus 9 is 16, carry the 1. 1 plus 2, 2,650, okay? So it gets confusing. You see right here, I even wrote down a multiplication sign. It should be a plus sign. You see, when you're going back and forth between operations, you're always doing multiplication, and then you switch over to addition. It can get confusing. You can make mistakes. You really just got to pay attention to what you're doing, okay? So step 2, all right, is now I need to take this amount. That's the total amount of pasta in 1 month. So I want to know how many in 9 months. So I have to have 9 groups of this. So I'm going to take this, and I could show this in a tape diagram, but for time's sakes, I'm not. 2,650 times 9. All right, and use my standard algorithm to figure this out. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 5 is 45. Down the 5, carry the 4. 9 times 6, that's 54, plus 4, 58. Put down the 8, carry the 5. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 5 gives me 23. 23,850. Now, what is that number? Let's look at our question again. Our question says, how many pounds of pasta does a restaurant sell? That's pounds. 23,850 is pounds. So, after 9 months, the restaurant sells 23,850 pounds of pasta. I'll put an exclamation point there because that's an exclamation. All right, so that's that. Hopefully you guys followed along okay, did great. Again, these things that we did today that were a little bit confusing, it's just brain food. It's stuff for you to think about. Let your brain catch up. But you have to give your brain a chance. That means paying attention. It means listening. It means asking questions. It means thinking about it past class, all right? Thinking about it on your own time. That's what's really going to hone it in for you, okay? Well, super proud of you as always. We're going to have a small quiz tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. See you on Wednesday.